Well, hello, welcome to my racecourse. Welcome to the pre-match stream here for Wrexham against Tranmere Rovers, the hotly anticipated local derby. It's been the talk of the town all week, hasn't it, Ollie? And we're here and we're ready to go, aren't we?
Yeah, we are. Lots of tickets sold out this morning. It's going to be a weird one where today we're not saying come down to the game. It's going to be this game is sold out. It's been the hottest ticket in town for weeks now. And, it's for a reason, isn't it? I mean, it's not just playing one of your local rivals. It's playing against one of your promotion rivals. And that is such a massive part of this game. It's great to see people from both Wrexham and Tranmere really, really enthusiastic about this game and really gunning for 3 points.
Game, isn't it? This is a game that perhaps belongs in a football league. Massive attendance would prove that. So both teams right up there. So it's a good year for both clubs, isn't it?
Yeah, yourself and I went down to training yesterday. Spoke to him. He said the exact same thing, didn't he? He said two sides you shouldn't be where they are, but we are, and we're both desperate to get out of non-league football, as it were. So today's such a huge game in that respect, let alone everything else. It's, Tranmere are a point behind us, 4th v 5th. We know a win today could put us right up there with that game in hand to come on Tuesday. So, yeah, today could be a real springboard for success for Wrexham, I believe. And, with such a great following here today, the atmosphere is going to be brilliant. And it could be one of those days where you say, were you there? Because that was the beginning of what was a fantastic run. But hopefully it could be a bit of a springboard.
Robert says he can't wait for the game. Kenzie says it's kick-off 3 o'clock. It certainly is kick-off 3 o'clock here at my racecourse this afternoon. Make sure you arrive as early as possible as you can. There will be around 8,500 to 9,000 people here. I'm not sure the final figure as yet, but there are a lot of people coming down to the game today. Make sure you arrive early, get to your seat, make sure you sit in the right seat, and jobs are good, and watch the game, enjoy it against our local rivals, Tranmere Rovers. Talking of Tranmere, of course, Connor Jennings returns to the racecourse this afternoon, as does Jay Harris and Andy Mangan. So that's free. And Reece Taylor, of course. I nearly forgot Reece Taylor joined Tranmere Rovers as well. What sort of impact do you think? Perhaps we'll talk more about Jay Harris and Connor Jennings. They're the ones that are in the team at the minute, and Reece Taylor. Andy Mangan seemed to be on the fringes, nearly on his way out of the club in some respects, going out on loan to Fylde, but he's come back and he played last Saturday off the bench and made a really meaningful impact as well on the game.
Yeah, I think the bench is probably where we're going to see Andy Mangan come from if he does come on. We mentioned the 4 Wrexham players. We know a lot about those players. Connor Jennings got player of the month in December.
Yes.
He had a tough start to the season, and he's starting to come to fruition a lot with it. Jay Harris, decent National League midfielder. But it's the other players I'm more cautious about. James Norwood, I think he got 11 goals this season. Certainly top scorer, joint top scorer. He can cause a lot of problems, Norwood. He scored last week for Tranmere against Maidenhead. He's certainly a real threat for them. Taylor in goal. They've had the goalkeeping problems of recently, haven't they? So, they brought Taylor in on loan from Fylde, which was a strange one when you first saw it, if I'm honest. But, we know that Reece Taylor is a good goalkeeper. Solid keeper at this level, certainly. So, they've got quality all through the pitch. But Wrexham, there's nowhere where you'd say we're particularly weak at the moment. A lot has been made of goals and things like that recently. Are we scoring enough? Well, Chris Holroyd, Scott Bowden and Scott Quigley have all chipped in recent weeks. So, for me, it's two, dare I say it, the two best teams footballing-wise, let alone stature, in the division at this point in time, coming up against each other.
Well, that's why it's so hotly anticipated, this game. That game, sorry, that's why so many people have been out there and bought the tickets and come into the shop this week and seen us. And it's great to see that much interest. Another player that perhaps Tranmere have got to shock us with today, and could be a surprise, is Ben Tollett. He's fit.
Yes.
There was a video on Tranmere's YouTube channel last night with Ben Tollett. He says he's fit and ready to go. He's trained with the team all week. So that could be another danger flashpoint for Wrexham. They have to keep Ben Tollett. I know he's rusty. He might not have played a lot of games recently, but he's a good player, isn't he?
Ben Tollett is a fantastic player. They'll be really delighted to be back. I watched him before he signed for Tranmere on a personal note. He was playing at one of my clubs, Portsmouth. He was fantastic there. and I thought very unlucky not to be part of a Football League side. So when they let him go on loan to Tranmere, then signing for them, he's had his injury problems, which has probably kept him back. Because if he hadn't been injured and he'd been, firing full cylinders, he could go a lot further. He's a very good player, not the sort of threat you'd think he is. He's quite a slim lad. He doesn't look like he's got enough to beat some defenders in this league, but he has. He's just so quick, very direct, yeah. And he could be a real concern. Whether he's fit enough to start the game, I'm not sure, but certainly if he comes off the bench, he could make an impact. So we have got to be wary of him.
Definitely Ben Tollett on to watch this afternoon, as is the centre half Steve McNulty. McNulty injured a couple of games ago, a really bad challenge on Tranmere's captain, which left a cut down to the bone on his shin. Played through, hobbled through the last game against, was it Maidstone they played? Maidenhead, sorry, I always get the two mixed up. Sorry about that, but he played a contribution in that game. They felt they needed him for the aerial challenge, the masterful effect. Mickey Mellon said he's the captain. He needs his captain. Do you think he'll play today?
Yes. I think if the shoe was on the other foot, then it was Sean Pearson we'd play as well. McNulty, we've seen the best and worst of him. He's very good centre half at this level. Another player who, when you look at him, you wouldn't think so. We've seen him put in some really great performances against us. We've seen him make some mess ups, shall we say, against us as well. But
I was going to say to you, we saw what happened at Prenton Park with Caden Jackson.
Yep.
Where he sent him over the hoardings, ran through and scored. Wrexham totally dominated in that game. But we also saw the flip side of that here at the racecourse, where I felt McNulty bossed the defence, bossed our defenders out of the game when they won in the FA Trophy. And that was the difference between the sides in the day. So if he comes up against Scott Quigley this afternoon, what do you think the outcome of that little battle could be? Do you think it'll be similar to Caden Jackson, or do you think Scott Quigley will allow the experienced McNulty to boss him out of the game?
It's interesting if those two come up against it, because it's two players who are key players but not fully fit players. So that's going to be interesting. So it may not just be that who's going to win that particular battle. It's going to be who can last and maintain themselves at full capacity the longest, really, because Quigley hasn't played a full 90 minutes in a while. McNulty's coming back from, as you say, such a horrible injury. So yeah, between those two, that's going to be interesting. For me, Quigley's got a bit on him in terms of age. He's got a bit more probably in terms of fitness as well. But again, that's what we're thinking at the same time, isn't it?
The key message: racecourse is sold out. If you've not got a ticket, you won't be getting in this afternoon. Hottest ticket in town, of course. Wrexham against Tranmere Rovers. Team news will follow a bit later on with some of the other guys. But for now, we'll go and do some work, I suppose, and get the racecourse ready for the supporters arriving shortly. So thank you for watching the live stream. We'll catch you in a bit.